Today I want to talk with you guys about the effects of television and movie violence on our children. Um, of course, this is a topic that is researched and talked about, and many case studies and different things that's have been in regards to this particular topic. I do personally feel like it is something that needs to be addressed and discussed. However, today I don't want to hammer on too many details regarding things that have happened and where people feel there's a correlation between the crime or the bad thing and what they were watching on TV or the video games they were playing. I more so want to focus on other ways to get your child to choose other sources of entertainment, or maybe be more knowledgeable about it, therefore wanting to choose other sources of entertainment. Entertainment just is not like it used to be. I mean, I'm only a few months shy of being 30 years old. However, I'm old enough to know the difference between television in the 90s versus today. Kids have their own channels dedicated to them, and we're not even always sure what's on there. It's not just the stuff that's present, not just the rated R stuff that we should be watching out. It's the stuff that comes on their channels. You think it's good, but we don't really know. There's sexual innuendos sometimes that I've run into, and it's like, wow, they just slip that in there. So it's very good for us to be knowledgeable on what they're watching on their personal channels. Not that they're all bad, but there's just some things I feel like they get embedded in children's heads and they don't even realize it. And sometimes they do, and they think it's okay because it's on a child show, or we allow them to watch it. The other one is video games as well. I think that's a very obvious topic. I know there's Grand Theft Auto and some other games where there's a lot of violence and it's promoted and that sort of thing, and so we allow our children to play them, and they think it's okay and they emulate them, and it really is not okay. We have to understand that our children are easily influenced. Children both do understand and don't understand what they're watching. A really young child, I would say under the age of 4 or 5, doesn't really understand what they're watching. They may not understand the innuendo that's being shown, but to them they think it's okay because it's on there and we're all laughing. A child older than that does understand, but again, we're enforcing that it's okay because we're not stopping them from watching it, or we're not taking the time out to learn what they're watching to make sure that they are not entertaining themselves in that way. So it's best to really just understand what they're watching and just show them, that those sort of things are not okay. One of the things that I don't want to hammer on too much, but it definitely is a topic to kind of just go over and maybe research yourself. The reason I don't want to hammer on it is because I'm trying to more focus on what we can do to avoid this. But crime can be a result of children being influenced and entertained by violence onto what they see on TV. In the early 2000s, we've had some mass shootings, and some of the influence, they say, was the music they were listening to. Some Marilyn Manson, some heavier metal music that most people don't understand. So it was viewed as ungodly and gothic and heavy, and they say that their music influenced. That's the same idea with a lot of violence. Kids are playing violent video games and watching violent movies, and there's an influence there. Of course, this is an extreme, and it's not to say that every single child that participates in this sort of entertainment is going to necessarily be violent and want to commit these types of acts, but it's not to say that it isn't a possibility. So let's just show that it's not okay. One of the things that I think is the best way to avoid your child being involved in this sort of entertainment: encourage your child. Encourage them to try new things, try other things, try more positive things. Show them that TV can be dynamic and amazing without being completely gory and explosive. Things can be entertaining and fun and exciting without being, sexual and depressing. Like, there's other things out there. Also, too, if you're as a family going to watch it, you can do whatever you'd like with your child. However, tell him that this isn't okay. You know, this particular bloody, gory scene is for entertainment purposes only. Yes, this stuff can happen, but there's no need to imitate it or try to make it come to life. It's just a movie. I know, for example, my brother has a very funny story that I will share with you guys in regarding this matter. When he's now 22 years old, but at the time he was about 2 or 3 years old, and actually maybe a little bit younger. I'm still like with kids' ages, I mix things up, but Scream was one of my favorite movies. I always laughed and thought it was hilarious. I was only in middle school when I was watching it, and one day my brother just looked at my dad and said, "F you, Dad." And my dad, in shock and horror, he stopped. He told Jordan no. I think he tapped him on the hand. He walked away laughing. The moral of that story is my dad couldn't be mad at Jordan because he was too young to understand that it was bad. However,